Coming back to you, or over to you, Gloria Harry, thank you very much for joining us. Let's talk about the crisis that's going on in Bukuma right now. What are the people experiencing, and how far the extent of this disaster? Gloria?
Morning. Good morning, Maxine.
Yeah.
It's really sad, and my heartfelt condolences to the victims. And on behalf of my chairman too, I want to express heartfelt condolences to them. It's like you've said, it's a very pathetic situation. When the chairman, Honorable Agum-Bukuma Harry, led a delegation, including officials from the NEMA, there a few days back, we could hardly access the place due to the heat from the inferno and all the environmental issues there, because you could see the particles of the crude oil on the leaves and everywhere, and houses, like the video showed, were all destroyed. So the people are struggling. They are struggling. When we got there, the air was very dense. Most of us had to wear nose masks, and the heat is not something you wish for your worst enemy. So it's sad that a facility owned by the federal government is causing so much pain to the people of Bukuma, because nature has given them this asset. And let me also put it on record that there are 9 oil wellheads currently showing signs of having the same issues. At least I was told by somebody, one of the stakeholders from that community. So you can imagine what would happen if 9 wellheads suddenly explode. Just one wellhead is causing so much disaster, then you can imagine what 9 would do. So I think it's high time for the federal government to step up their game, because the people are suffering. Yeah.
Now, Ms. Harry, as a spokesperson for the communities, you understand exactly what these people are going through, and you're communicating these to the authorities. What is the reception from the authorities like? And also regarding the genesis of the fire, who exactly has investigations shown that it might have been there, that they might have started this fire?
Well, you know, the only way you can get information is from the residents or the people from the community. So they told us that this wellheads or these oil facilities owned by NNPCL have been neglected. They have not been maintained in the last over 20 years, that's over 2 decades. So it's worrisome. And this thing happened not because anybody went there. I can't speak authoritatively if there's any human factor, but they are saying that these facilities have not been maintained. And you can imagine wear and tear. We all have equipment, we all have things that we use. And when these facilities and this equipment are not maintained, there's a likelihood that these things, they will break down. So from what the community heard and most of the stakeholders told us, the fire was caused by wear and tear, not by human factor.
Okay, Gloria.
So that's what happened.
Thank you very much, Gloria. I'm being told that we have Austin Azu back with us now. Austin, thank you for joining. Good morning to you. Austin, we've just heard from Gloria Harry, who represents the community, spokesperson for the communities there in Bukuma. However, in your experience, gathering this report, did you also have the opportunity to see these wellheads that are being spoken of? What state were they in? What did they look like? Did it seem like something that might have been vandalized? I'm talking about perhaps maybe the other wellheads. I'm sure you couldn't get close to the one on fire. But give us your experience, please.
First and foremost, on the very day we went to Bukuma, we have to board a boat from Bukuma. Bukuma is in Asari Toro local government area, while Bukuma is in Degema local government area of Rivers State. So it took us about 10-15 minutes for us to arrive at Bukuma. At the jetty, we met some security personnel, and including Tatita security agencies and the locals who were at the jetty side. And upon our arrival, we just got an information that the local government chairman just came in and he just left. And however, we decided they took us to His Highness, the traditional ruler of the kingdom. According to them, the Bukuma comprises of 9 communities. and one of those satellite communities was heavily affected by the inferno, which is Zion City. So after meeting with His Royal Highness, he told us what happened, and he alleged that they have recorded 4 casualties already. We saw some people who were burned, and we spoke to them. However, they requested that the only thing they want is for the federal government and the relevant agencies to come to their aid, because they have lost everything they had, and they are asking further that compensation should be provided to them. Thereafter, we went to the Zion City, where we saw the heavily impact of the inferno on the environment. And close to that particular wellhead that still ravaging as at when we reported, there's another wellhead that is closer to it, and that particular wellhead, from what we gathered, that wellhead is empty, that nothing has happened there for a very long time. So they said the wellhead, the oil wellhead is dried. Obviously, that was what some of them claims that was what the NNPCL has told them before now, that particular oil wellhead that is gushing at fire, that the wellhead is empty. And they equally alleged that over a few months ago, that the security agencies came to that place to come and raid, and obviously, according to them, suspected to be like activities of oil theft and bunglers, and they were shooting. In process of shooting, periodically, it affected the oil wellhead valves. Of course, they call it Christmas tree. So thereafter, the place became so saturated with hydrocarbon. And before the December 21st, that the agency responsible for the maintenance of the oil wellhead came, and in attempt to fix it back, the thing exploded, and that was how the fire started burning since 25th of December, since 21st of December, down to the current moment that we went there, and we saw how the place looks like, and the whole place was highly saturated. Of course, the settlements within that area, we gathered that a lot of persons do come around to come and trade, to come and buy, and that place is a settlement for farmers and fishermen. And we saw the impact of the disaster on the ecology, we saw it on the water, and we equally saw it on the land. So in that particular area, I contracted cough. I don't know if you can feel my voice at the moment. So in the process of doing some interviews, gathering information within that area, the place was charged. And of course, those of us who are new to that environment, we don't know what happened, but we left there with cough, and some of us left with catarrh. So to tell you how much the level of devastation that thing has cost the environment there. And as we speak at the moment, nobody is living in that area. So a lot of them has left that place, and obviously the place is deserted at the moment. So we saw the farm settlement that people who came around to buy 1 or 2 things can no longer go there. We saw fishermen who were lamenting that they can no longer have fish. The river is polluted, and the aquatic life too is equally affected. And most of them survive from what they get from the river, from the aquatic sails. So obviously at the moment it's just like asking what next for them.
Okay.
Obviously maybe the days ahead will tell. But we saw that NOSDRA, that is the agency responsible for the maintenance of the oil wellhead, went there some time ago, and they equally alleged that it was a third-party involvement. But the community said no, that they have never been involved in bunkering activity. And another person equally said that it's left for the government and the agency to maintain their oil wellheads. And this is very common within the Niger Delta area, that most of the oil wellheads within the Niger Delta area, since for a very long time, they have not serviced it. So, and most of them, the indigents of those areas have alleged that most of these most of these issues that led to the oil spillage within those areas, it could be equipment failure. Okay. And there is an urgent need for the relevant agency operating those wellheads should regularly fix them and maintain them to avoid this environmental degradation and disaster
now,
that they are causing the people of the Niger Delta.
Just a second, Austin. I'd like to turn to Gloria now for a second. Now, Gloria, I'm wondering if you'd like to confirm any of the instances that Austin has just told, especially regarding the allegations of community involvement when it comes to the fire starting.
Well, I can't, like I have said, I don't live in Bukuma. You know, everything we say here, we say because somebody has said it to us. But I know that there were security issues, and my chairman had to set up a committee to look at the face-off between Tantita and the community, some youths from the community. And details of that I cannot actually say because
now,
I don't have them.
What about the efforts by NOSDRA? How is that going? Is it is it okay? Is it enough, or is it true that there's a snail pace approach to their efforts?
We've not heard from NOSDRA, and we've not seen anything. My chairman went there the other day with officials from NEMA, like I said, and these officials are the only ones who have reached out to the local government chairman to see ways of collaboration to make sure that this thing is, at least those people living around, because it's not just the Zion city. If you had been to that place, you would understand how it is. Now, people staying in the main community also feel the impact of what is going on. And the chairman, like I said, has put up some remedial procedures or processes, like drinking water. They don't have drinking water. So that he has said he will provide. And they've already commenced action on that. And nose masks, like I also said, with other relief items, as I speak, are currently being shipped to that community because the people can't drink water. And you know how it is. The moment people drink contaminated water, then we're looking at another health disaster. So it won't just be physical or, like he has said, cough and catarrh and all that. The moment we have something more sinister, then it becomes uncontrollable. So the chairman, Honorable Gloria Harry, is on top of the matter. And in a few days, I'm sure you'll come back to say the chairman has really done something.
Okay.
But for the federal agencies, we're yet to hear anything from them. The only people involved as at now are officials from NEMA.
Simply officials from NEMA, the federal government perhaps. But what about the oil companies that these facilities might have serviced at one time or the other? Have they paid any attention to the situation?
As at the last time, I've not heard anything because, like your staff said, or from the video clips, they came on air to say there will be no compensation. I was just thinking, why would you say there will be no compensation? Because this is not their fault. Your report also said those oil wells, they claim to be empty, they claim to be inactive, but one of them blew up. So now I've also said it, 9 wellheads are about to blow up again. So will they sit on their hands and wait for such disaster to occur, and then now tell the community that they will not pay compensation? Is not the right way to go. So I think they should put up whatever they need to put up and put it up fast because the people are suffering as we speak.
Okay, then. Thank you. Austin, let me come back to you. Austin, regarding the other wellheads that are proximate to this area, you've seen the situation firsthand. What's your advice that you'd give to the authorities or even the locals, even the residents, the farmers, all of them? What would it be?
First and foremost, the next oil wellhead that we saw, the locals told us that the oil wellhead is empty. And for that reason, that oil well seems not to portend any threat to the locals within that area. But we don't know what is beneath the oil wellhead, if there are still, crude oil that are still in there or natural gas. But we advise the locals to take precautionary measures to avoid that area at the moment. And the only way they can survive is for the federal governments and NFPCL and spirited individuals to come to their aid with relief materials. And of course, imagine someone who has been displaced from his farmyard. So obviously, what he or she will eat will become very difficult. So it's a matter of surviving in the days ahead. So, and it's left for the agencies for them to come up with their findings as soon as possible, because By the time they start, delaying this process, we'll reach out to you, we'll get back to you, and this process involves lives already, so that the needful could be done to salvage the situation at the moment. As we speak now, as at yesterday, we heard that the fire is still ravaging, and it's portraying a lot of environmental hazard. And we rode a bike from that particular jetty down to the community, and even down to the main community is not spared, because the atmosphere is filled with hydrocarbon. So you can breathe out, but you'll be taking in, these environmental diseases, so which are not too good for the health of the people. So they need this urgent attention so that this fire could easily be put out easily, so that the people can have a sigh of relief in the few days ahead.
Okay. Austin, as we want to say thank you very much for bringing us the experience from Bukuma there, and Ms. Gloria Harry, thank you as well for representing the people and giving us the situation on ground regarding your engagement with the authorities. Thank you both.
Thank you so much.